Hi everybody, Stuff and Things back with another week of skateboarding. And I specifically say a week because this last week I managed to skateboard 5 days in a row, which for me is actually pretty phenomenal. And I'm starting things off with something new and different that I got into my head that I wanted to try. I want to get up onto the mani pad from fakie, and maybe the long-term goal would eventually be fakie ollie into the fakie manual that I was working on in the previous video. So here I was starting things off just to try to roll in fakie and then try to tail stall right on the edge of the mani pad. And that was a really good way to warm up and force myself to get my weight over my back foot and get up on the mani pad with hopefully some stability. And once I got a little more comfortable with that, I was trying to fakie ollie onto the mani pad and roll away. And in order to do this, since I'm not going very fast, I have to keep my weight over my back foot and manual on those back wheels just a little bit to even get on the mani pad. But that's really good because it's huge progress for me, and it's building towards the fakie manual eventually out of a fakie ollie. And the big key to this, the thing that really started to make it work, was really leaning super far over my back foot as I went for the fakie ollie, even before I like pop it or anything. It's like I have to shift my shoulders backwards over that foot, get that weight going that direction, and then try to pop that tail really hard to get it to snap and get up above the height of the mani pad. And in these couple of clips right here, I start to actually lean a little bit too far over that back foot, but I think that's good because I need to overcompensate for my tendency to want to lean back toward the front foot. But I did manage to fakie ollie up there a couple of times and roll across the pad and get out of there. So it's, like I said, big progress. A couple of them get a little bit closer to maybe one day doing the fakie manual. I'm not there yet, but one of these days.
Of it.
So when I can get some more work on the mani pad in the future, I will be working on these from time to time. The long-term goal again, but I'd love to get another type of manual across the pad. So we're back at the hip, and I wanted to try something new, and I got it into my head that I wanted to try a switch front 180. And it's funny how doing something switch can kind of make you feel like a beginner again. My pop and my rotation there looks really janky, but I'm glad to do something new. Then something I haven't done since last season, some grinds along the edge of the mani pad, which doesn't have any metal on it. This is just concrete.
Yeah, we take those.
So when I get some grinds on it, it sounds nice and it feels good too.
I should have 180'd, except I was falling backwards.
Then I tried a fakie ollie into a 50-50, and that went surprisingly well. I got a couple of them out where I came out fakie still, which is way harder for me to do than to pivot out, do some sort of 180. Then we're going to go back to kickflip on the hip. And I'm actually really proud of this fall and how I rolled out of it like you're supposed to. So that was really good. But I got a pretty clean kickflip there with a little bit of pop, so I'm pretty happy about that. Now back to the mani pad a little bit more. And I wanted to try something I haven't done in a while. I wanted to do a nollie front shove up and then a nollie shove down. I never actually got it because that first nollie front shove up that I managed to land was the best one I did the whole day. And then I couldn't do a decent nollie shove off, so I never really got that line the way I wanted. Then I was trying another two-piece, a half cab up and a heel flip down. I never got it to where I got the good half cab, like one with some good pop with a solid heel flip, but ended up getting a couple of them landed, and they're decent. The last heel flip here is fairly clean, so I will take it. And then to finish off my Monday, this is the first day out of the 5, like I said, that I skated in a row. I never used this bump thing, and I decided, to kind of do a cool down, to explore something new again, and I've been trying to do reverts and power slides and stuff a lot more. I wanted to try it here, and I'm glad I did because it's actually kind of a lot of fun. Feels good, and it's another good exercise for board control and getting used to sliding my wheels. So now day 2, we're going back to the garage, and I was kind of obsessed with manuals, so I wanted to do one of each of the 4 basic manuals across my garage. I got regular there, and then this is nose manual. Then I'm going to go for switch manual, which is definitely the hardest one for me. That's the best one I could do. I can't get all the way across the garage, but I got some of it. And then fakie manual, which is one that I've been liking a lot more lately. It went pretty well. Then I'm just going to play with the box, as I often do when I'm in the garage. I wanted today to be a light skate day because on Monday I skated a lot and I was pretty sore and pretty tired. I got this idea that maybe I could get out of a tail slide into nose manual. I never got it, but it was fun to kind of explore it and try a little bit. Now, day 3, Wednesday, I'm back at the skate park, and I want to show you one of my warm-up lines. I like to do pivots on this bank as part of my warm-up. And I wanted to do all 8 of them, you know, regular, fakie, nollie, and switch, and in both directions. And so in one run, I did manage to get each of them, even though some of them aren't really all that great. I think here we're finally going into nollie when I almost over-rotated that one. The ones at the beginning, the fakie ones, are my favorite. And nollie's not too bad if I can concentrate enough and keep my weight centered. Now we're in switch, and I did manage to get switch backside. That one's really good, and this is the hardest one for sure. Switch frontside. I cannot do a switch frontside 180-degree kick turn. If you've never tried that, I encourage you to try, because it's a lot harder than you might think. And that was another fun warm-up that I'm using a lot more lately, a pivot and a revert all in a row and just spin around until I get way too dizzy. And hey, guess what? I'm back on the mani pad. But I got a regular manual pretty easily. I had to fight a little bit to get a decent nose manual, but then I finally did get one. Then it was time to try something new, and I don't know if I was really planning on this, but I ended up coming into the hip with a half cab, which I really like, such a fun trick. Then, for some reason, I thought, let's try a half cab and flick, and see if I can do a half cab flip. Once in a while, here or there, I have tried this like in the garage or on flat, but I've never really gotten too close. And the hip is a great way for me to maybe start learning it, because I don't have to spin the 180 fully because it's a hip. If I get like 135 degrees, it works out really well. And I didn't plan on it, but this became a persistence session where I tried so many more times than I thought I even did by the time I was done with the day. It took 98 tries to finally get one as we get closer to the end of this battle here. So once again, never give up and keep trying. This is one of those tricks where I'm trying to concentrate on so many different things at the same time, and it's really hard. Like weight distribution, on how much to like lean back and shift my weight so that I can land in the bank and then get that flick the way I want it, get the rotation, the foot position. There's a million things going on all at once. But as we keep going, I'm getting really close. I'm finally getting both feet on the board, and I'm getting some where I'm kind of rolling away, but I have like heavy toe drag or heel drag, or I step off a little bit, or tail drag like that one. I'm so close. And when I get that close, there's no way I can quit and walk away from it. That one was crazy. I actually double flipped it. That's not something I'm doing on purpose for sure. I think I get one more here that has a tail drag, which I don't want, but that means I'm really close. And finally, we are rewarded for our persistence with one that is clean enough. So now it's Thursday, and I'm going back to the mani pad. There's a puddle next to the mani pad, as often happens if we get rain and stuff this time of year, but I'm going to have to deal with it if I want to use the mani pad. So I'm doing some of my manuals as I normally do them as a warm-up. Then it occurred to me I usually don't do them coming from this side because I don't get the nice bank in the background there to roll in from. And I also realized that I never do my manuals in a line like back to back. So I set a goal for myself today that I wanted to do regular manual going this way and then go up to the bank and turn around and do a nose manual. And this really revealed to me that my manuals aren't as consistent as I think they sometimes are. This took a lot more tries than I thought to get a regular manual and then a nose manual back to back. So there, I messed up the regular manual. On the way back, I might as well try to get some practice, and I got the nose manual. Decent pop out too. Here again, same story. I messed up the manual on the way in, and then I'm gonna go out, turn around, try the nose manual again. So it was easy, well, not easy, but I could get one or the other, but not both in a row. And that's what took so many tries. And it was good that I was trying this tail scrape, because I did realize that I do need to work on the consistency of the manuals more. And this really helped me to like force myself to go for consistency and not like anything much more advanced or some new manual that I haven't done. I need to get the ones that I can do more consistent. And so here it was, finally got a regular manual, turned around, got a nose manual in a row. Then I worked on fakie manual or switch nose manual, whichever one you want to call it. I never got one, but I got some good close ones. And so that was actually encouraging that I could get to this point. Like this one was nearly landed. I just leaned badly as I came off the mani pad. And then after that, I'm really trying to get my half cabs more dialed. And I like doing half cabs up to the mani pad. I think it's fun, and then it sets me up to try to do some little two pieces. So I'm doing half cabs up, and then I was wanting 180s off because then we're rotating backside with both tricks. And I did it a handful of times to see if I could really get it clean. I got a couple decent ones, but I wanted it even better than that, but we'll get there eventually. Then I was gonna do a half cab off the mani pad, and that quickly evolved because I was doing half cabs off and it felt pretty good, and I ended up accidentally kind of spinning out like that, doing a revert. Then the new quest from that motion became, wait, can I do that on purpose?
How did I stay on? That was dumb.
And so I'm basically trying to full cab off the mani pad, and the second 180 would be the really like reverted one. Obviously, I'm not going to fully rotate it. I never really got one that I would say I got a full cab, but it was really fun to try, and I was really pleased with myself that I could do a half cab and then go right into a revert fairly quickly. So I'm getting way better at this whole sliding thing. Maybe it has to do with some of those warm-up exercises I've been doing where I spin around a lot and do a lot of reverts.
That was clean. I don't think it's a full cab, but I think I'm having fun trying.
And then for the last day of the week, Friday, I'm at a different skate park. Hooray! I went to Steamboat Springs and I got to go to their skate park. I've used this ledge before, and I was trying nose slides on it because it goes down just a little bit in the direction that I'm going. It's not a flat ledge. Nose slides were sliding really well on it, but I could not for the life of me get a crook. And I learned for the first time how important it is, the difference in ledges. This one has a highly curved, beveled corner to it, whereas my box at home and the ones at my local have a much sharper corner, and so I can lock in and hold a crook a lot better. I never got one on this day at all. And then to wrap up this session, I'm going to do some transition work. This is a 3-foot quarter pipe that actually has a really nice shape. And I've always liked this quarter pipe when I've gotten to go to this skate park, so I wanted to see how many tricks I could get. That's a janky 5.0 stall, but I'm glad to get one because I'm not very good at those. And a frontside 50-50, and then I'm going to do some fakie stuff. And this made me really wish that the transition at my local skate park wasn't so dang steep. I have some 3-foot quarter pipes as well, but they go nearly vert. It's just ridiculous amount of steepness. And I was super psyched to get this fakie 5.0 type thing. I don't think I've done this in a 3-foot before, so I'm happy about that one. And so before I sign off, I said at the beginning I skated 5 days in a row this past week, and that's really good. And I've been trying to manage how much I skate, how long my sessions go, and what I do when I skate so that I do a good variety and I don't overtax my body in any way. I've also found some other strengthening and stretching exercises that have really been helping my knees quite a lot. And so if anybody's interested in an update to my self-care routine and how I've been taking care of my body and making sure I can still skate as much as I'm able to at the age of 46, I could do an update video. Let me know in the comments if that's something you would want. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.